Hey everybody, how you doing today? Welcome back to the FOGO Life. Today we're gonna, one second. Hello? You can't get it to burn hot? Well, I'm making videos. Let me cover that for you right now. Yeah, my buddy Juan Diaz just called me and said, hey man, I can't get my big green egg to burn hot. Now, I spend a lot of time in the Facebook forums, on Reddit, and the big green egg pages, and there's one common problem that I see all the time. I can't get my egg to high temperatures. Let me tell you something. There's only two solutions. One, airflow. Two, fuel. So one of those two things. It can only be those. Everything else doesn't matter. Okay, but we're gonna start with airflow. If you're not having good airflow, you're never gonna achieve high temperatures. Fire breathes oxygen. You gotta have plenty of air getting to it. If it's not, you're not gonna be able to build a hot fire, right? I know airflow sounds like a simple thing, but there's a number of different ways that it could be impeded and it could be blocked. So we're gonna go one by one on how to check them all. The first one is right here. Now, if you open up your egg and it looks like this after you've taken your charcoal out, you have a serious problem. All of this is going to create a problem because these have holes in them. All right, this charcoal grate has holes in it and you need to let that air come through. If it's blocked up by small chips and dust and ash like that, it's never going to get the proper airflow. So to make sure, you always want to make sure this is cleaned off perfectly and all of those holes are cleared up. All right, so that's number one when it comes to airflow. Numero dos. This fireboxes have holes around here, okay? When it lets air in, it lets air in the middle, and it also lets air in around the outsides, which comes up through these holes. So if these holes are blocked with little chips like this, okay, that's not gonna work. Or if they're blocked because of buildup like this here, see it's built up? This one actually has a whole piece stuck in it, all right? You gotta make sure that these air holes are perfectly clear. If they're not, you're not gonna get proper airflow. That's the second problem when it comes to airflow. Number three. When you have a charcoal grate in here like this and you pull it out, look what's all underneath there, okay? It's full of ash. You cannot get good airflow if this thing is full of ash. So every 2 or 3 uses, make sure that you're cleaning all of this out, okay? Because there's a big problem. There's a vent hole right here. If that vent hole gets blocked up with ash, there's no way it's gonna let enough air in to be able to get to the fire and keep a good hot fire burning. I wanna show you what I'm talking about. So you see in the front here, if this is all clogged with ash, there's no way that enough air is coming in here to be able to fill it. So we need to get all of this ash out of here. How do we do it? Very simple. You can get a tool like this. It's called an ash tool. It's a big green egg ash tool, and it's used for scraping those ashes out the front vent. It's real simple. I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. All right, first thing you do, get yourself something that you can put all your dirty ash on. Then you just simply put this right in the front, stick it in, and just pull the ash right out the front. Okay, it's real simple. It's gonna create a lot of ash, so be careful, don't make a giant mess all over yourself. But it's a great way to do it. It gets all the ash out, and it's gonna give you great airflow. Make sure, and I do mean make sure, that the coals are cold. Don't do this with hot coals, all right? So you can see here, all of this ash was creating a giant problem with airflow, just blocking it. It's impossible to get a hot burn if you don't have enough oxygen going to your fire. Now this one may seem very elementary to you, but make sure that your hole in your firebox on the inside is lined up with the front vent, all right? If it's like this, and it doesn't line up, you're gonna inhibit the airflow so much you'll never get over 200, 250 degrees like this. So always make sure that your vent here is lined up perfectly with the vent on the firebox. And there's one more spot to clean the ash out on. Let me show you where that's at. And here it is, let me show you. Aha! So, remember those holes that I was talking about in the firebox? Well, this ash is gonna fall through here. Believe it or not, this can actually build up to the point that it's inhibiting all that air from coming in from the outside. So, you wanna clean all of this out of here. Get it all up out. Again, make sure the coals are out, So I showed you how to use the ash tool. You can use a vacuum, whatever you wanna do, but just get all of this out of here. About every 2 to 3 uses, you wanna do a full clean out, just to make sure that you'll be able to get to high temperatures and get a clean burning fire. Now, understand guys, you are gonna get a little dirty doing this, all right? You work with ash. So the important part thing too, there's one more thing I wanna talk about with airflow, and it has to do with putting this back in here, all right? So come on over here. I wanna show you what I'm talking about. Now the way that this fire bowl sits in here, there's supposed to be about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch gap around the edges. You wanna make sure that this is centered. Will it make a giant difference in your airflow? No, maybe not a giant difference, but it's the sum of all the parts, okay? It's all these little things that you can do that will help you get the maximum temperatures out of your big green egg. So if you make sure that all around you have equal spacing on this and on your fire ring, okay, equal spaced all around, this way it allows the air to come up from the outside as well as the inside. So proper spacing is the last thing that I want to talk about on airflow. Oh, hey there, sorry about that. All right, so when you put this back together, you got your charcoal grate nice and cleaned off, you got your bowl all cleaned out, you can set this back in there. What I suggest, ditch that. Get rid of that, okay? It's all kind of an old school way of thinking. Replace it with a charcoal basket. This is a kick-ass basket. We actually sell it on our website. But what it's gonna do, it's got all these grates here. It's gonna give you maximum airflow. It's gonna allow a lot more air to get to the charcoal. What do you think would get more air? Some holes or completely full of slits like that? So this will help you immensely if you want to get good airflow and you want to get good hot temperatures. Not only that, you can shake all that ash when you're done and clean out your grill. So I think this is an excellent addition, and I think that every single Big Green Egg should have one, all right? So now we got it all set back up. We're ready to light a hot fire when we're ready.
So good airflow will help you get a hot fire. That's all I have to say about that.
All right, folks, that was airflow. Now our second problem that we have, okay? Are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. Fuel. There's all sorts of fuel problems that there could be. We're gonna go through them one by one and show you how to fix it, more importantly than what the problem is, huh? First things first, if you don't have enough fuel in your egg, you might not be getting high temperatures. Number two, if you're using old fuel in your egg, you might not be getting high temperatures. Number three, if your fuel got wet, you might be not getting high temperatures. All right, that's enough of my ode to old Jeff Foxworthy there. But yeah, those are the serious points. So the first one is not enough fuel. A lot of people put charcoal in, but they don't put enough, okay? You gotta put enough charcoal in here. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put some in here, a little bit. We're gonna light it, and I'm gonna show you that it will not get to temperature. So let's go ahead and put some in.
For the purposes of our demonstration today, Ron will be using the normal lighting method of blazaballs and fire starters, the best way to start any fire.
Now, when I go in the forums and whatnot, this is what I see. I see people that they put this amount of charcoal in here. It's just barely covering the bottom. It's not enough. You need to have a full load of charcoal in here. So like I said, I'm gonna show you how this is not enough. We're gonna time this, all right? We're gonna let this roll. I'm even gonna put some on top of the blazaball because you can do that and it doesn't extinguish it. Then we'll knock it down and let it spread, and then we're gonna show you how it just will not get to temperature. So it's great with Big Green Eggs and Kamados that you can close it down and still have your charcoal left the next time you wanna cook, right? Well, we've done a video where it showed that the older stuff burns less hot and takes longer to light. So what I do is I'll mix some new stuff in with the old stuff, okay? You don't want all old stuff in there. You can use it, it's great, reuse your charcoal. That's what these things are so great about, okay? So what you can do then is you just simply get it out, light it, and add some new stuff to the old, okay? You're gonna combine it and get them burning together. That's gonna fix one of the main problems. The next one can be humidity, dampness, okay? I live here in South Florida. If I don't keep my charcoal in a closed bag, like in a bin or something like that, the moisture and the humidity seems to get in. If it rains on it, forget about it, okay? It needs to be really dried out. But if your charcoal, even if it ever got wet, it's never gonna burn the same as it did when it was fresh. So if your charcoal has gotten damp, if it's exposed to humidity, you're not gonna get the temperatures out of it that you want. So make sure that you have good, clean charcoal and you're using the right stuff. If it's all old or if it's all a little bit damp or had been exposed to moisture, it's not gonna work. Now, it's heating up, but I want to reproduce a regular cooking, a regular cooking scenario. So I'm going to put my convector in here. I'm going to put the grate in just as if we were cooking, because let's face it, you're getting it grilled to high temperatures because you want to cook at high temperatures. So that's what we want to reproduce here. So I'm going to put the grate and convector in here. The last part about airflow that we really didn't talk about yet is your chimney cap. All right, make sure that your vents are all the way open. If you have one like this, you can take the top all the way off when you're heating this thing up, okay? It's good, the more airflow, the better. So make sure your vents are all the way open or the top is off. If you have a daisy wheel, open it up, take it off. You have a regulator cap, same thing. Open it up all the way or take it off. Put it back on when you hit the temperatures that you desire. All right, guys, we have been burning for 45 minutes now, and we're still just barely over 250 degrees. That's 45 minutes. So I'm gonna open it up. I wanna show you what we've got as far as charcoal, show you that it is lit, but it's only getting to 250 degrees because there's not enough charcoal. All right, boys and girls, we're working with hot stuff here, so put some good heat gloves on. Oh yeah, you can feel that heat. All right, take this out and take a look. We got a good fire going in there. Everything is lit, but it's still only 260 degrees, so that's a problem. Now you can see what I did here. I filled it to just below this fire bowl line, okay? So this is gonna kind of go right where the convector would sit. So it's gonna be a full basket of charcoal. I like to put as much in here. You can have too little, you basically can't have too much. So let's let this get heated up and show you how hot this sucker can get. Well, here we are 36 minutes later at and we're just about to 550 degrees. So the thing is heating up beautifully. Now don't forget, we're heating up the ceramics with it, okay? The convector's in there. So as you can see, what happened here was that the temperature really creeped up once we added more fuel in there. Does it take a little while? Yeah, of course it takes a little while, but to get to 550, 600 degrees in just over 30 minutes, that's pretty good. One notable thing that it did is that when you do a hot burn like this, it's gonna clean out your egg. It's gonna take all that moisture and all those greases and everything like that and push them out. Look at the dome of my egg. It's got all this grease and everything all over it. And that only came from the heat pushing all the moisture out. So if you think these things don't collect moisture, they do. They're porous. They're made of ceramic, okay? So that's how we fix our problem. You got airflow, so you either got too much ash in there or things like that. You got to clean up the airflow and get it flowing good. Next thing is more fuel. Make sure you have enough fuel. Those are the two reasons that your egg will not get to temperature, all right? You know, things that you saw in here, the kick ash basket, things like that, the heat gloves, we have a link for that. It's all down below, all right? Hit that. Feel free to shop, check it out. Maybe it's for you, all right? But until then, listen, this is everything we got. This is how to get high temperatures in your big green egg in a quick summary, all right? I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you like what you saw here, if you want to know more about BGEs, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the FOGO family, all right? What you want to do is hit that like also, give us a thumbs up, and leave us a comment below. What's your favorite video we've made, and what would you like to see us make in a video? I'd love to know. So that's everything I've got for you. I'm your host, Captain Ron. Remember to get out and grill, and I'll see you the next time on the FOGO Life, all right? Captain Ron,